Attention, the solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews.
In a time when mainstream stealth games have sunken into the shadows to await the opportune moment to once again pounce, action-adventure games have brandished the stealth mantle to mostly disastrous effects. Dishonored aims to change this with gripping storytelling and solid, unique mechanics. It does, and well, it doesn't. Dishonored begins typically enough with the inciting incident, just as most games do. There's not a lot of backstory to be had here, and all we know is that you're the Empress's bodyguard, Corvo Attano, and you've just returned from an unsuccessful endeavor to another city to discover a cure for a plague carried by the rats that overrun the city, a subplot that never really comes to fruition. And opportunely enough, you've just returned in time to be framed for murder and kidnapping when the Empress is assassinated and her daughter disappears.
Yes, he's killed the Empress.
Competent enough, the narrative immediately thrusts you into a world of intrigue, greed, skullduggery, and foul play. A beautiful world populated by well-voiced, well-acted characters, some that are often odd, macabre, and quite eccentric.
Is that you, my dear husband? My eyes aren't what they used to be. Have you seen my little birdies?
It's too bad that these players far too quickly and far too often become caricatures of themselves, despite their uniqueness.
Yes. The pressure was too low.
Hello, sir.
Corvo, you're back.
However, the narrative's biggest missed opportunity comes in Emily, the Empress's missing daughter. Although you spend the majority of the narrative trying to rescue her, and once you do rescue her, the rest of that narrative protecting her and solidifying her place on the throne, or not, she never truly grows into anyone worthy of care. There's never any real danger of losing her or her getting hurt. Unfortunately, instead of being a powerful character that tethers the narrative together, she simply becomes background noise.
The others are all dead, aren't they?
And Dishonored's over-reliance on exposition is disheartening in a world full of such beautiful and splendid potential. Its biggest offender, being an ethereal being called the Outsider constructed purely for and out of exposition. Almost all of his instanced encounters thoroughly break immersion and retread information the player already knows through action or endeavor.
You're on your way to face the High Overseer, the leader of a great cult dedicated to loathing me. What will you do, I wonder?
It's really too bad that most of these scenes, by the narrative's midpoint, have me incessantly pressing the skip button or wanting to drink myself silly just to get through.
Tonight, High Overseer.
Hit it! Take!
In its early goings, Dishonored shines through its gameplay. There's nothing more fun and exhilarating than methodically clearing a room of enemies or, if you're up to it, brandishing a firearm or some explosives and blasting your way through even the most ardent of obstacles. But as the game progresses, stealth becomes much more difficult. And I often found myself overrun with enemies even on the simpler, supposedly more accessible difficulties, dying and dying over and over again. It became quite frustrating to be continually forced into combat in a game so predicated on stealth that's most often hit or miss with weapons that are also most often hit or miss and continually become less effective as the game progresses. No other game of its ilk is Dishonored's in-depth power system, with powers such as dark vision that allow you to peer through solid objects, blink, a teleportation-like ability, bend time, the ability to slow time in hairy or unexpected combat situations, and possession, the ability to take control of humans or certain animals to slink past guards or other such impediments. Dishonored sometimes, every once in a while, makes up for its other combat deficiencies twofold by the fun this type of system brings along with it. These powers are then upgradable at any time through a skill system that uses runes that are scattered throughout each level. These runes are then spent in an aesthetically mediocre yet intuitive and useful skill tree within the menu. They're found by the heart of a living thing, a macabre gift given to the player early on by the outsider, and what's more, items called bone shards allow for attribute enhancements. Some allow longer water breathing, while others provide tougher skin for greater health and are equipable in tandems of 10 provided slots. The faster the heartbeats, the closer the bone shard or rune may be. Overall, Dishonored is a dividing yet fun game for a weekend romp or those wanting more action than stealth. With its beautiful locales ranging from dank streets to opulent manors, Dishonored boasts hours of replayability through excellent use of divergent narrative and multiple endings based on morality and the amount of chaos garnered or not garnered in each mission. In conjunction with its time trial DLC and story DLC, The Brigmore Witches, Dishonored provides hours of fun for those willing to find it. But for us cat burglar types and those who aren't fond of cookie cutter characters and hand-holding exposition, we ought to stay with the staples of the genre, such as Metal Gear Solid, Splinter Cell, and Dishonored's direct competition, Thief. Overall, I give Dishonored a 6.5 out of 10.